From broken promises to stunning revelations, just some of the reports from the National Assembly this week. Hello, I'm Lanre Lasese. Welcome to the program, The Gavel. I'm sure a lot of you had been looking forward to this week, especially as the National Assembly had stated that the 2016 budget will be laid and passed this week. Well, let me just say I have an update on that matter. And who has not heard about the Gender Equality Bill and the fate it suffered in the Senate? It has become a topic of discussion everywhere. We will be exploring issues that have been thrown up by that bill. Our first report, however, is on the visit of the Auditor General of the Federation to the National Assembly.
In a small meeting room in the National Assembly, the Auditor General of the Federation meets with the Clerk of the National Assembly and journalists. He's here to present the 2014 annual report of the Office of the Auditor General to the National Assembly. The report is as detailed as it is alarming. It contains details of widespread irregularities in government ministries, departments and agencies. One of such mind-boggling revelations in the report is that of NNPC's under-remittance of revenue from oil sale to the Federation account.
From the examination of NNPC mandates to Central Bank on domestic crude oil sales and reconciliation statement of Technical Subcommittee of Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting held in January 2014, amount now remitted to the Federal Allocation Committee was 3,234,677,791 naira 35 kobo. As at January 2014, 3.243 trillion was owned to Federation account by NNPC, and then transfer to escrow accounts 235,685,861 $. This was the review of sales profile on sale of gas to NFG was not paid to the Federation account but transferred to some undisclosed escrow accounts. Relevant documents were not made available for verification. We didn't know what happened to this money, and that is the amount.
There is still more to come.
We noticed that the sum of 73,547,759,436 naira 60 kobo was made on these accounts, contrary to the established purposes of those funds. And the detailed breakdown of how those funds were diverted or used as contained in A is that the sum of 36,432,423 naira 423,968 naira 73 kobo was released to the Office of the National Security Advisor for the rehabilitation and construction of dams instead of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. The sum of 2,894,531,250 naira was spent for the procurement of hand sanitizer for schools and critical public places. We are saying that those funds were at variance with the purpose for the fund. No evidence of those lines of expenditure in the 2014 appropriation, meaning they were not budgeted for in the 2014 appropriation.
There are also some financial irregularities attributed to the National Assembly. The report discloses that personal advances were granted to 112 staff in the National Assembly from the recurrent vote and 50 members of staff from general service vote, totaling 1.1 billion naira from July to December 2014. In addition, 9.5 billion naira worth of payments were made by the management of a National Assembly without raising payment vouchers, which is a violation of financial regulations. Other agencies caught in the web of fraud by the Office of the Auditor General and the Police Service Commission, Foreign Missions, Nigeria Port Authority, Petroleum Equalization Fund, Nigeria Prison Service, and the Federal Airport Authority.
A lot of issues have been raised by that visit, and we will be meeting with lawmakers in the National Assembly to understand exactly what they intend to do with that report. But now, to the Gender Equality Bill. Lawmakers took a very clear position on this piece of proposed legislation.
Before the bill was thrown out, it provoked a passionate debate from lawmakers for and against the bill.
Most of our husbands here, their wives are even public officers. And definitely they don't want such women to be discriminated in her place of work.
That a woman can do whatever she likes will give rise to a situation where in our northern language, the Hausa language that is said, Mijin Hajia, you become Mijin Hajia at the end of the day, where your woman can move around, interact anyhow, under your watch. Under your watch. This, Mr. President, is an apostasy.
But passion was not enough to save the bill.
Those in favor that the bill be read the second time say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
The reaction from Nigerians over the rejection of the bill was instant. Social media was awash with opinions on the matter, with many Nigerians criticizing the Senate for throwing out the bill. One of the arguments by some of the lawmakers who opposed the bill was that some sections of the bill violate the 1999 Constitution.
For the bill to provide that a widow shall automatically become the guardian and custodian of her children is in conflict with the Nigerian Constitution, where she also says a widow shall have the right to an equitable share in the inheritance of property of her husband. This is also in conflict with the Nigerian Constitution.
But a lawyer who spoke to Channels Television disagrees.
I think it's a misapplication of words. I don't think he intended to say that it was a breach of the Constitution. Rather, in the context of what he said and who said it, he probably wanted to say that it was a breach of the Sharia code. Yes, because nowhere in the Constitution is it provided. In fact, the Constitution is explicit that no person whatsoever shall be discriminated upon on the basis of his place of birth, circumstances of birth, gender. Very important. So if you say that a bill trying to provide for widows, trying to remove the shackles of discrimination, of social embarrassment on widows, frowns, or rather breaches the provisions of the Constitution, I want to be educated on how, and when I was watching the program on television yesterday, I was intent on hearing the particular sections of the Constitution that the senator will refer to. But he just made it broad and made it vague. He just said it was an affront on the Constitution. And let me also say that it cannot be whatsoever, because customary practices are only valid and acceptable to the extent that they are not repugnant to law, equity, and good conscience.
The Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill was designed to, among other things, adopt temporary special measures to eliminate discrimination, modification of socio-cultural practices, elimination of discrimination in education, elimination of discrimination in employment, and elimination of discrimination on grounds of marital status. Chioma Kanu is a senior program officer of a civil society legislative advocacy center. She believes that Nigeria has much to gain from the passage of this bill.
we will not agree with the content. It can't happen. We need to show that we are a responsive government. We signed up to it, so we will follow it up with our own legislation to domesticate it through the GEO bill. So they can't escape it. Even if they throw it out now, we will still bring it back. We will keep bringing it back until they do something, until they sign it into law. The Nigerian people deserve that bill. Okay? There's widowhood rights inside that bill. I don't know if you're familiar with the way women are treated when they lose their husbands. In some parts of the country, widows don't inherit their husband's property. You will see a woman that has 4 kids, more than 4 kids, and she loses her husband's brothers, relations will come and take everything that she will use to bring up her children. So this bill eliminates that. This bill also gives women the right to be employed. It gives women and young girls the right to be awarded scholarships, you know, to have some level of parity.
The office of a Senate President has assured that the bill would be reintroduced after some amendments are done to address some of the reservations of the lawmakers who are opposed to the bill. But there are concerns that the redrafting of the bill would water down the impact